Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines. The Pentagon is evaluating the future of the US military footprint in the Middle East as the Iran war raises fresh questions about the safety and sustainability of American bases in the region. The review could eventually reshape where US troops and military assets are stationed, particularly across the Persian Gulf. The Defense Department is examining whether the United States should pull back troops from the Persian Gulf, where major American military facilities have come under repeated Iranian attacks. US President Donald Trump has announced that he is putting a 3-day pause on new 50% tariffs set to go into effect on Canadian goods at midnight, saying the two countries had reached a deal. An hour later, Canadian Prime Minister Carney said in a statement that substantial progress has been made, although there is important work still to be done. President Donald Trump has said that there were currently no talks with Iran, as the two sides remain deadlocked over ending the conflict. In a social media post, Trump said the US naval blockade remained in force and claimed that the Strait of Hormuz was open and operating after the removal of all water mines. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has said that the United States is now begging to negotiate with Tehran on Iran's terms. He said that Washington failed to force Iran to surrender and claimed that the memorandum gave Iran 13 provisions in its favor. Araghchi also said that the perception of a weak Iran had been completely dispelled following the war with the United States and Israel. He said Tehran's post-war foreign policy would be fundamentally different, arguing that Iran demonstrated its resilience and that its adversaries failed to achieve their goals of regime change, unconditional surrender, and internal unrest. He also accused Israel of trying to sabotage the deal. Furthermore, Iran has rejected the idea of another temporary ceasefire with the United States, insisting instead on a permanent end to the nearly 6-month war. Speaking to Iranian television, Foreign Minister Araghchi said Iran had told mediators that Tehran would not accept a ceasefire that merely pauses the fighting. He specifically praised Qatar and Pakistan for their mediation efforts, saying both countries had played a very important role and that Iran's relationship with them was currently at a very good stage. However, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Gharibabadi has hit back at Donald Trump's claim over the Strait of Hormuz, calling the US president's territorial ambitions a delusion. Gharibabadi said that Trump's claim would either be corrected soon or Iran would correct what he called the delusions of the US president. Separately, Ghalibaf said that those killed in the US-Israeli war, including former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, would not go unavenged. Ghalibaf said that Iran would use all its capabilities to defend the rights of its people, punish the aggressors, and uphold Iran's honor and standing. Google has opened its first local office in Pakistan, expanding its presence as Islamabad targets $30 billion in annual IT exports. Google says it has contributed more than 3.9 trillion rupees in economic activity and supported over 960,000 jobs in Pakistan over the past decade. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif welcomed the move, saying it would help strengthen Pakistan's digital economy and empower young people through technology. Former Ukrainian Defense Minister Mikhailo Fedorov has called for presidential elections to be held despite the ongoing war with Russia, posing a fresh challenge to President Volodymyr Zelensky's leadership. Fedorov said Ukraine needs a legal, safe, and realistic mechanism to restore elections, warning of a systemic crisis of governance and growing fears of political change. Ukraine has remained under martial law since Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, suspending elections. Fedorov was dismissed as defense minister last month after only 6 months in the post. Zelensky has not publicly responded to the call. Fedorov previously served as digital transformation minister and played a key role in Ukraine's drone and technology-driven war effort. China urges countries to respect digital sovereignty and avoid taking sides in the global artificial intelligence race, after reports that the United States plans to pressure nations to choose between competing US and Chinese AI frameworks. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian said China opposes bloc confrontation on AI and called for international cooperation to build a fair global AI governance system. The remarks came after Reuters reported that Washington is preparing to warn countries they could be excluded from a US-led AI coalition if they also join China's competing framework. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.